at first I was like, I need to create all these different designs. When people really want dope, like that is my flagship design. They want it in all different colors. Like maybe a couple years ago, I was like, people aren't going to buy it anymore. But that's not the truth. Like I literally, once you have that one design that stands out, man, you have to run with it. And I do have some other designs that do well, but this is the one that's got the 20K.
All right. What's up, everybody? I am super excited to drop a new case study on you guys. I am here with the lovely Keli Michelle, celebrating some of her successes. And today I want to talk to you guys about what has helped her apparel brand grow from an idea to pushing nearly $20,000 a month now, which is wild, right? So, first off, right, let's go ahead and maybe you could introduce yourself. Keli, tell us a little bit about yourself and your products.
Hello, everyone. Super excited to be here. It's definitely been a journey. Like you said, I'm Keli Avery. I'm from the South Side of Chicago, born and raised.
Outside.
And South Side. And I actually started my business really just selling t-shirts as a fundraiser because I'm a natural dancer and I have a dance company, Creative Eye Arts. And in 2015, I started kind of pushing my dance program and just helping out with organizations around the city, after school programs on the South Side and offering dance. And I started selling the t-shirts as a fundraiser. And who knew that people actually liked my design? And so I literally just took a shot at selling it on Teespring, which is like a free website. Like it's nothing. Literally, people just order and it ships from God knows where. And they really started selling. And I was like, oh, I might have something here. And so I had an entrepreneurial spirit. Naturally, I always knew that. I worked a 9 to 5. I worked in corporate, fresh out of college. I was on my job for 10 years. I just transitioned from my 9 to 5 in the end of 2021. So I'm super excited now. I do this full time. And it has really allowed me to truly dive in and see the success now that I am doing this full time. So it's been a blessing.
That's awesome. That's really amazing. Right. So dope apparel, right? And you guys can see it got a little bit of
We
dope.
twinning today. That's
Right?
crazy, right?
Right? A little bit of dope swag.
Who knew we would be twinning?
I really do. This it has a nice fit. I like the design. People are always like, people will stop and they'll look at me like, wait, what is, and then they'll look to read, and that's pretty cool. So as far as the designs themselves go, like what made us go with these type of designs, and what's the story behind creative?
So really, to be honest, God dropped this dope design in my spirit one day. And I actually just typed it in my notepad on my phone. I didn't even know what I was going to use it for. Like I had so many other designs, and this was the stuck out the most because I was like, I want something that'll be meaningful, something that's going to grab people. We use the word dope all the time. Like, and I know in different cities and different areas, there's different types of lingo, but like in Chicago, I know like on the East Coast a lot, everything is dope. And so I wanted to encompass like what makes you dope, right? And so that's why my definition talks about accepting one's greatness. Like whatever I do that makes me great makes me dope. I'm unique, my creativity, my vision for success, right? And I talk about manifesting your destiny. So what you speak into existence, all of these things are what make you dope. You're individual. And so that what makes you great. So the definition just came to me. It was in my notepad. And I was like, I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt. I literally went on Fiverr. I had no design skills at all. Went on Fiverr and was like, hey, help me out. Maybe paid $5 for a design. It came out. This is literally my original design. And then I just start, creating different colorways. But this is the original design since 2016. And literally people buy, at first I was like, I need to create all these different designs. When people really want dope, like that is my flagship design. They want it in all different colors. Like maybe a couple years ago, I was like, people aren't going to buy it anymore. But that's not the truth. Like I literally, once you have that one design that stands out, man, you have to run with it. And I do have some other designs that do well, but this is the one that's got the 20K.
Flagship, right? And that's the thing a lot of folks don't always understand. You don't need a million and one different things. It's not about having some big, huge collection of products that you can sell.
No.
Right? It's not about having this warehouse of all these designs and all this crazy stuff. It's if you can sell one thing enough times, you enjoy a ton of success, right? And that's why having flagship offers to get folks in the door is an incredibly powerful thing. It's definitely something I stress and lean on. And you've been able to really enjoy the success of taking a strategy like that. And speaking of strategies, right? Talk to me a little bit about what you were struggling with before you joined the e-com sales engine.
I didn't know how to sell online at all. I mean, I started out, like I said, selling on Teespring, and I used like all these print on demand companies. And the quality wasn't the best, but I didn't honestly know anything about selling online. So I just put my design up there. And I mean, the profit margins were super, super small. But I didn't have to deal with any inventory, so it was easy. But then after I started to look at it, like, I really want to create a brand. And so starting off with print on demand, it can work, right? I've tried every print option that's out here. But it didn't allow me to scale to where I wanted to go and sell and really have the profit margins that I knew I could make. And so I decided, like, okay, then I created a Wix, right? I started selling on Wix. I had no idea about Shopify. Mike introduced me to Shopify. I had no idea about e-commerce. I did not know what it was. And the first call, he was like, yo, like, this website is cute. But it wasn't converting at all. It looked like a magazine, right? And so I had all my pretty little models up there, but it wasn't getting any sales, none at all.
So, we didn't understand a whole lot about growing and marketing our business online or just e-commerce in general, right? And how long were you kind of stuck and just meandering along like that?
Well, I'll say I started my brand in 2016, probably 2 years. 2019 is when my business started to take a turn, and started to really kind of dive into e-com. But for several years, I mean, I had a website like, oh, you can purchase, but I really didn't have an online business. Now I did a lot of pop-ups, and again, I worked a 9 to 5. And so this was my side hustle, right? It was like, okay, if I made $1,000 for the month doing a pop-up here or there, I was good. And so, but selling online, I would just kind of direct people there if I was doing a pop-up and I didn't have a size and, some inventory. And I would get 1 or 2 sales here or there, but it was not an online business. So it was like 2 years before I really got going.
Yeah. No, I mean, a lot of folks kind of stay in that kind of stuck, low sales type of area. Luckily, you were doing some in-person stuff to at least get some sales coming in. But, the online thing, a lot of folks will kind of be trapped at a low level for quite some time. So what made you decide to join the e-com sales engine versus maybe some of the other options that you were looking at the time?
Well, honestly, I found you on YouTube and it was so much information. I felt like a lot of people during that time, I think, when was this, like 2020? It was during the pandemic. And I was at home and I knew like it was time to the next level. And because I was working from home, I had a lot more time. So I'm online and I see your ad come up, and I'm like, oh, let me check out this guy. He's on YouTube. And you were just using verbiage and things that I had no idea about, like e-com, like, okay, what is that? Conversions. Like, I don't know anything about that. Traffic. I knew nothing about it. And so I actually dived in. I have still my notes. I had walked away with so many notes from just your YouTube. And I was like, yo, I need to set up a one-on-one with this guy because I feel like everybody else is kind of trying to sell you. During that time, it was new with a lot of like coaching, the like coaching calls, join this master class, and everybody's trying to sell you. and you weren't getting any information. I felt like you were offering so much information that you were giving away for free that even helped me to even open my eyes to understanding, the dynamics of having an online business, that it drew me in to say, no, I need to work with him because he knows his stuff. And I didn't feel like you were trying to sell me, like you were really trying to help businesses grow.
Yeah. I mean, that's my mentality. That's why I created the traffic and conversions group. That's why I have content on YouTube, Facebook, all over the place, because there are so many like vultures out that are just looking for ways to take your money, or they'll sell you dreams about drop shipping and how easy print on demand is. And,
Yep.
they sell this type of a dream. And I like to help folks understand that it really is business. E-commerce is not electronic commerce is
Mm-hmm.
semi-new, right? But retail, I mean, folks have been selling their products to other people for thousands of years. It's just knowing how to
Yeah.
do it online and on the phone, right? So, boom, you're able to find me, right? You said, hey, his approach is different. It feels a little better. It feels like he actually cares about me and my brand versus just trying to make money off. Okay. So tell me a little bit about some of the things that you implemented through the program and how they impacted your business.
Oh man, just starting with module one. I mean, it's just eye-opening. It started out with just my product pages and driving people to the website, what that looks like. So I had to totally transition from Wix to Shopify and building a Shopify site, right? And what that looks like. It made a world of a difference in terms of conversions. And so just really understanding, how your page should be set up, how your home page should be set up, how your product pages should be set up, how you have your descriptions. Like, I didn't think nothing about like how I should be describing the products, and so it just really just helped to, think of it. You would always say, which was very helpful, like when you're in the store, right? How do you check out? Like when you're in the line, you have those last little items, while you're waiting to check out, that hey man, I didn't even know I needed an extra pair of socks, right? And so just transitioning my mind to think about like the upsells, like, okay, yeah, there's those end caps full of stuff that you don't need, right? That you sell people. And so when you have an online business, laying it out just the same you would as if you're walking into the store. And so it just totally helped me transition my mind, like, okay, when a person comes to my site, what's the first thing that they can see? Is it accessible? Is it clickable? Knowing that, how does my banner look? What does it say? What do the products look like? Putting them on people so that they can see and envision themselves in it. So that really made a world of a difference. Just the sizing of the banner and making sure that, you have your navigation bar. And you think about it, when we shop, whether like you said with Fashion Nova or Walmart or whoever, when you go on the site, it gives you, if you're shopping for hoodies and t-shirts, if you're shopping for accessories or whatever it is, it's right there in front of you. People shouldn't have to go diving looking for your stuff. Make it where it's just easy to flow. So that really helped me with just setting up my website, making sure I had all of everything dialed in, frequently bought together. I love Shopify because everything is in the one platform: email, text messaging, upsells. I didn't know anything about opt-ins, like what does that mean? But you think about it, when you shop, when you're a consumer, everyone's getting your phone number, your email. I like to get discounts. I want to join and get the latest drops. Why wouldn't you do that for your own brand? So it made a world of a difference, like, doing the spin the wheel so people can win. They want to see what they can win. And I want to apply it now. It's just the urgency behind all of that. So it was game changing. It was game changing. And I'm still constantly going back, seeing what I could change and update, to help me scale. So that was amazing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I appreciate you even going through some of that stuff. Because I mean, that's the thing. Like it's not just getting eyeballs. Getting eyeballs is a process. Getting eyeballs to your story is important, but what are you doing with those eyeballs?
Mm-hmm.
And understanding that there's not really a whole lot of magic. A lot of it is really just math and understanding what needs to happen where and how to understand what you're looking at and what it means. And then once you can really start to like see in the matrix, it's not hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that it's not easy.
Right. Yeah.
And people make it way harder than it needs to be by, like, one of the ads some of you folks may have seen where I'm like banging my head against the wall, right? Because they make it like that, right? Because you're trying to do things that you may have heard on YouTube or you may have heard from some random online that may have worked years ago or is not relevant to your niche. And
Mm-hmm.
it can just it can mess everything up for you. And now you're spending all your time, promoting on social media or burning money on ads, not knowing what the hell you're doing. And they get to
Mm-hmm.
your store and then what? Right?
Yeah.
Nothing's working out for you. So understanding how to increase your conversion rate is massive. If you have a 1% conversion rate and you get 100 clicks and you get one sale, if you can get yourself to even a 2% conversion rate, you just doubled your sales off the same amount of traffic.
Yep.
It's just math, you guys. So, I appreciate you bringing something like that up. What would you say has been your favorite part about working with me and the ecom sales engine?
I'll say, you're in tuned. Like, I've joined other coaching classes and taken master classes, and it's like 3 months and they're done. Like, get what you're gonna get in 3 months. And sometimes, depending on your situation, it may take a little longer, it may take a little less. But I found that a lot of the other courses out here, it's kind of like 3 months, you're done. Oh, we did 2 one-on-ones with you. And I feel like, we've been working together for quite some time now. And I feel like you never were like, hey, your time is up. Like if that was the case, I wouldn't be here today. If my time was up, I wouldn't be here today. Right. It took me a little bit longer. I had some challenges. Like, again, like I quit my job. Right. Once I quit my 9 to 5, it allowed me to really dial in. But sometimes when you work in a 9 to 5 and trying to navigate things and lives, sometimes you need to kind of see what works for you. And I feel like you were still like, sister, we're going to get you there. You're going to get the 10K. You're going to get the 20K. Like, come on, and it was really on me, right? So I have to take accountability. You can give me everything that I need. You give us the blueprint. You give us, every single thing that we need. We have to do the work, right? And we have to be serious about it. And I feel like once you really take it serious, you'll see the success. Like, every single thing that you've told me to do, I literally have notebooks full of stuff. Everything that I've implemented worked. Every single thing has worked. And I feel like you just take the time to really want to see people win and really want to see people be successful in this vein. And again, like I mentioned, what attracted me to you from the very beginning was that I didn't feel like you were just trying to sell me on another coaching program. It's a million coaching programs out here. Because I'm in a t-shirt business, I have tapped into some that are specific to just branding for t-shirts or, apparel. And it's great, they give you some information. It's good. You get a nugget here or there, but I have not found an all-in-one encompassing of what it means to truly scale an e-com business, period. Like all of it. And so that's, I think, what really always draws me back to you. And then just being in the Facebook group and being amongst other folks. Like, I've seen people hit that 10, 20K that was aspiring for me when I wasn't there yet. And I'm like, man, that's dope. Or people will drop, what they've been doing and what works for them. And, I'll learn from even other people in the group. And so I think that that's been extremely helpful. We share a lot of resources. You're constantly giving resources. And I don't feel like, you like, okay, hey, we're done here. No, it's been great. I think that I know for a fact I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for ESC, period.
Wow. Yeah. Gave me a little bit of chills there, man. But
No,
like,
for real.
and for some of you guys who've seen a couple, case study videos like this, and you hear folks say a lot of the same things, right? Mike actually cares. Mike actually cares. Mike actually cares. Yeah, you guys, because I do, right? Gift and a curse, right? I could make a lot more money if I was more strict on how I dealt with folks and, was way more transactional in my operation, right? But that's just not how I roll, right? My goal is to create more stories like this. Like people ask me what I do it for. People ask me, dumb question. Well, if you're doing so good in e-com, why are you coaching? Because sometimes it's not about the money. I don't have money problems. Right? Yes, of course. I mean, look, you get to a certain point, there's always more, right? There's always more. Greed is good, right? But I don't have money problems. This is fulfilling to me. And hearing you say things like that and hearing other folks that some of you guys have heard from say this type of stuff, that's why I do it for, because seeing how it can change lives and empower, you to be able to do, more with your brand, more in your community, more with your freedom. And you have an opportunity to pay it forward. And that's like, I can rest easy knowing that I played a part in that. So yeah, man.
Definitely. Because I'm teaching people like AI and like it's just next level stuff that wasn't even around. You got to keep growing, right? And so it's stuff that wasn't around when we started, some years ago that now you should implement. Like when we first started working together, I had to come up with copy. We were doing all different types of things, finding blog posts to help with your creative. Now I could just go on ChatGPT, like here's the prompt, da 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 da.
Right. There's a little bit of there's an art to that, right?
It's definitely an art to it. You got to know what to feed it. It's a robot.
That's the key there, right? Some folks are going to say, yeah, ChatGPT, yes. And then you go to ChatGPT and it'll give you some nonsense.
Yeah, you got to know how to feed it.
There's a little bit of magic, and that's like e-com in a nutshell, right? Just because you know about something doesn't mean you know how to work it, right? And that kind of brings me to my next question, right? Like you've talked about, what drew you to the program, some of the things you would take away, your favorite part about the program. What would you say to somebody that is on the fence about working with me or joining the e-com sales engine program?
You in your own way. It's real simple. It's real simple. You're in your own way. And I've realized that too, you have to invest in yourself. Period. It is just no way around it. I mean, granted, you can piecemeal some things together, but it's going to be a long road trying to figure it out. When you have a coach right here who can coach you and tell you what it is, tell you to play, give you the play. You don't have to figure it out. Here's the playbook. You have it. I don't want to have to try to figure things out if I can get the playbook right in front of me and all I have to do is wash, rinse, repeat. And so, I'm, don't be in your own way. You'll never get to success that way. If you're truly ready to be, attain the dreams that you have in front of you, you have to step out there. You got to do it. You just have to do it. And so, when I made up my mind, because I rode the fence for a minute and I decided like, no, I know there's more. And I see other people doing it. And I'm like, I can do this. I know that I can, right? But I also knew that I needed a coach. I knew that there was more that I needed, but I didn't know how to get there, right? So I needed someone to help guide me. And so that is why I even started looking on YouTube. I didn't know which way to go, right? Anybody could have come up. But, when I saw Mike's video, I was like, oh, this guy knows his stuff. And so it's no need for me to try to figure out anything. Let's get going. And literally it just started taking off. I start selling more and more and more and more, and even during those highs and lows, when the lows, he tell you how to get to the high. So it's like, okay, this isn't working, do this. So that's why it's so important to have a mentor and to have a coach, especially in the areas that you want to grow in. My family members can't tell me, people around me can't tell me how to run my business if they don't have a business, specifically an online business. You can't, the folks that are around you can't help you get there, right? And you can do research and you can read, but it's just so much easier to work with someone and you'll get there a lot faster.
Yeah, no, you brought up something key there, and that's the difference between buying an ebook on Amazon, or maybe you get one of these like, 97, 297,
Yeah.
$100 courses that are digital courses online. And yeah, that's cost effective, right? And then you do it, and then they break some down. You're like, cool, that sounds like a great idea. And you do it, and then it doesn't work. Now
And then
what?
you think now you just giving up on e-commerce altogether.
Right?
And that's not the case, right? You just didn't know how to implement it. You didn't have the strategy. And that's what it's really about, having the strategy. Like the modules, it literally takes you through like step by step what to do. If you follow that, like it's so helpful, it's impactful. And then Mike answers all of your questions. Like,
Yeah.
it's a win-win.
Yeah, man. So let's finish out giving them a little bit of sugar, right? Because last month was your first $10,000 month. And then, or no, January is your first $10,000 month. And then February, like, what did you finish February at? You were real close to 20K.
Like 19 and some change.
Yeah, you guys really think about what she just said right there. If it 1 month you hit 10 for the first, and then month right after that, you're almost at 20. So Keli, how did it feel? Like, and I know like when you're in it, like you're doing fulfillment and you can get kind of caught in the mix, but how did it feel to like enjoy explosive growth like that in just 2 months?
It felt really good. It felt really good. And it just allowed me to realize that my hard work and consistency is paying off, because that's what it's about, consistency. And so I'm like, okay. And Mike told me, and if, like, listen, you did this to get to 10, double that and you can get to 20. And I believe if I double that, I'll get to 40. Right. And so, I just listened. He gave me the playbook and I made the plays.
Right? It's not that it's hard, you guys. It's that it's not easy. That's it. But this stuff isn't hard. It's not magic. It's math,
It's
right?
math. It really is math.
Yeah. And if A doesn't work, then you have to have a B ready to go. Most people don't have a B ready to go when A doesn't work, and that's why they stay stuck. And instead of rolling to a B, they go and they try to find a new A, and then try to find a new one, and a new one, and a new one, because it's understanding what to do when you see something and what it means, and knowing what to transition to like that. So, I'm super excited for you, Kels. All right.
Thank you.
I can definitely see you getting one of these 50K club awards. That's
Oh
what,
yeah, I'm on it.
right? You just got to make sure, like, that's one of the things, folks don't always tell you. Like, you start to get certain levels, and then now you have different operational stuff that you got to upgrade to be able to even be able to handle. If we were to double your orders now, like,
Oh God.
you have to be right, you have to be prepared for that. So it's a little different, right? But getting the first 10 is the hardest. The 10 to 20 is maybe the easiest jump that you'll make in business, right? Once you get things dialed in for 10, 20 feels scary, but it's not really that hard. Once you get to 20, you got to adapt and evolve a couple of things so that way you can really scale up from there. But right, you can do it. You always had the brains, you always had the drive, you always had the hustle, the heart, because you're dope, right?
Hey.
Right. So I'm glad that I was able to help shape that fire that was already there. And I'm super excited to see just how high you end up flying, and how hot your fire gets, man. I'm super proud of you, Keli.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything, man. It's been great. It's been great. I'm excited.
Right. So again, you guys, right, whether you're selling apparel like Keli or anything, just understand that there is a gold rush going on right now when in the world of e-commerce and online retail, right? You have your Macy's, your Toys R Us, all these brands and major retail companies that we all grew up with are going under
Yeah, that's a fact.
because people are shopping online on their phones right now. So there's a major opportunity for you to establish yourself. I don't think Keli's going to go backwards, right?
No.
You're going to be doing this for as long as you can. It's a skill to have a multiple six-figure business and know that it's within your control and that you can actually see a pathway to double it or triple it. You can't tell me a day job out there where
Oh,
you
no.
can say, hey, I can double my salary in the next month, and here's how I can do it. Show me one.
No. No. I made my check for a month in 2 days.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So listen, you guys, whether it's me, whether it's someone else, I care about you being successful, and I want you to be able to ride the same wave that we're all riding, right? Don't sit on the sidelines thinking about it, watching. Take action and go get what you deserve. Don't wait for somebody to have it to you. Right. So, Keli, thank you for dropping in and sharing your insight.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Right. And I'll see the rest of you guys
Mhm.
in the group on YouTube or wherever you might find me at. Thank you for watching.